Hi everyone, I hope that you all are fine. And today we are going to talk about To His Coy Mistress, which is an outstanding poem written by Andrew Marvell. Students, Andrew Marvell was born in 1621 and he died in 1678. He had been a dignified member of the House of Commons. He is remembered as a metaphysical poet, therefore, it is important to know what exactly we mean by the metaphysical poetry. Here are some characteristics of the metaphysical school of poetry. Have a look. Students, of metaphysical poetry is characterized by inventive use of conceits, witty arguments, and complex thoughts. It means this kind of poetry is wrapped with a number of conceits. So, what are conceits? See, conceits are comparisons. What sort of comparisons uh, between dissimilar objects, and there are many witty arguments. It means the metaphysical poets put many intelligent arguments, many intelligent opinions, and this kind of poetry is sometimes complex, means it is sometimes difficult to understand and difficult to explain. The phrase metaphysical poets was coined by Dr. Samuel Johnson while he was studying metaphysical poems. Students, John Donne was the most important poet of the metaphysical school of poetry, and he is also considered as the leader of the metaphysical poets. Most of the metaphysical poems are based on religious themes. They usually put philosophical inquiries that cannot be answered by science. Why? Because such inquiries have an origin that is beyond physical. If you look at this particular word, metaphysical, you will realize that it is made up of two words, meta and physical. Fine. Meta means beyond or outside. Beyond or outside. Physical means matter or something which is not materialistic. Fine. Which is like beyond matter. Therefore, metaphysical means something that is beyond physical. That is, beyond physical means something which cannot be defined in terms of science or any form of knowledge which is physical or scientific. Fine. Therefore, this form of poetry is generally spiritual or platonic or religious. It is wrapped with complex thoughts, difficult images, and usually there is abrupt beginning, means sudden beginning, and unconventional content as well. The present poem, To His Coy Mistress, was written in 1650s and it got published 1681. In 1681, when it was published, the poet was like no more to see its publication. As I told you that the poet died in 1678. If we talk about its type or its genre, it is a love poem, it is a metaphysical poem, it is a seduction poem, and a carpe diem poetry. It is a love poem, as you can see that a lover is introduced addressing his beloved. He is provoking his beloved to accept his proposal. Fine. It is a metaphysical poem because it contains all those characteristics that we have discussed earlier. It is a seduction poem, as I told you, because it is provoking. The narrator is provoking his beloved to accept his proposal, to accept, his appeal, to let him approach her physically. It is a carpe diem poetry also. Carpe diem is a literary term which means seize the day. Seize, C-E-A-S-E. Seize means stop or pause a day. Stop a day. See, nobody can stop time, nobody can stop a day. It simply suggests that neither we should think about tomorrow nor we should think about yesterday. So we must focus on the day, on you must focus on today. Fine, means we should not care for what is to come tomorrow. We should not worry about what has happened in our past. We must enjoy whatever we have today, because whatever we have is today. We do not hold on our past. We do not have any control on our future as well, but we can live the life to the fullest today. This is what all we mean by carpe diem poetry. And the present poem is a carpe diem poem because our poet is, he is reluctant to think about his future. He says to his beloved to make haste and let him love. Nobody knows what will happen, tomorrow, what is going to come in their future. They shouldn't waste their time and enjoy the present moment of their life. Talking about the themes of this poem, transience is one of the important theme. Transience means the poet is worried about the temporary nature of something. So in this poem, Andrew Marvell confesses his worry about the transience of time and beauty. What he means to say is the beauty and time, the beauty or the youth is always under the threat of time. Beauty cannot be sustained throughout the life. Youth cannot be sustained throughout our life. Both change with the course of time. Another theme is about the urgency of love or celebration of youth and passion. As in this poem, we will see that our poet is, he is so much concerned about wasting of time. He appeals to his beloved. He implores her to accept his proposal, realizing the importance of time and youth. Appeal to live life to the fullest. Carpe diem again. This is what we mean by carpe diem. So this is all about the themes. Now quickly move on to the text. I'm trying to explain this poem. Had we but dwelt enough in time, this coyness lady were no crime. We would sit down and think which way to walk and pass our long love's day. Thou by the Indian Ganges side, should rubies find I by the tide. Of Humber would complain I would love you 10 years before the flood, and you should, if you please, refuse till the conversion of the Jews. So students, in the very outset of this poem, our poet is addressing his beloved as a criminal. Here he says, if we had sufficient time, your coyness, your reluctance to accept my proposal, your shyness were no crime. Since we are running short of time, we have less time, we do not have time to waste. Your coyness or your shyness or your reluctance to accept my proposal is making you criminal-like. So he wants to say that his beloved is acting like a criminal. She is being offensive to defy his proposal. We would sit down and think which way to walk and pass our long love's day. Now he says that since we do not have sufficient time, we cannot sit down and wait for right time. We cannot wait for a perfect time. if we could have sufficient time, we could have, invested our time to sit together, or to find out alternatives to spend our long love stay. Thou by the Indian Ganges side should rubies find, I by the tide of Humber would complain. Ganges is also called Ganga, the river. Ganges is an Indian river, and Humber is an English river. So both are rivers. Here he says that if we could have enough of time, you would be allowed to find out, gems or rubies, beautiful stones from the Ganges, from the Indian river Ganges, and I could also have invested my time writing complaints about you in form of words or in form of poems. I would love you 10 years before the flood, and you should, if you please, refuse till the conversion of the Jews. So it is important to understand what exactly Andrew Marble means by the occurrence of the flood, and what exactly he means by the conversion of the Jews. So students, here is an allusion. The poet has derived this reference from the Holy Bible. It is mentioned in the Holy Bible that once upon a time, when sin reached to the highest, when sin reached to its peak, a great flood was sent by God to annihilate the sinners, to annihilate the wrongdoers from the world. And only a few people could survive the flood who were virtuous, who were good. Fine. So they tried to establish the new order in the world. So all the wrongdoers, all the sinners were gone, and only good people were left out to replenish a new order, to restore the order in the world. It means the occurrence of the flood is associated with the beginning of a civilization. Now, what can the conversion of the Jews refer? See, it is also mentioned in the Holy Bible that the conversion of the Jews will take place towards the end of civilization. Therefore, the conversion of the Jews can be associated with the end of civilization, the way the occurrence of the flood is associated with the beginning of the civilization. So her poet simply, he wants to say that I could have started loving you from the beginning of a civilization to the end of a civilization, and I could have continued loving you to the end of a civilization, but since I am a mortal being, I'll have to die, and I will have to arrange all the phases, all the events, all good and bad events of my life within a such time. So I cannot wait for you anymore. I can wait lifelong for your acceptance. My vegetable love should grow vaster than empires and more slow, and 100 years should go to praise thine eyes, and on thy forehead gaze 200 to adore each breast, but 30,000 to the rest. An age at least to every part, and the last age should show your heart. For lady, you deserve this estate, nor would I love at lower rate. Her poet is addressing his love as vegetable love. The vegetable love refers to a slow development in love, right? A love which develops slowly, a love which grows slowly, like vegetables grow slowly. Growing of vegetables is not a one day task, it takes time. Definitely, a poet wants to say that my love would grow slower than vegetables and vaster than empires. You might have read in your history books about the vast empires. Empires means dynasties, the monarchies, their rules grow to large areas. So now a poet is making haste. He is in a hurry. Here he is, confessing his reason for this hurry, for this, hasty nature of his. He says that my love could also grow slowly, but I do not have much time. I cannot wait long. 100 years should go to praise thine eyes, and on thy forehead gaze. 200 to each breast, but 30,000 to the rest. Now he says that I could have invested my time to appreciate your eyes. I could have invested, he says, 100 years should go to praise thine eyes. He says that I could have invested 100 years of my life to appreciate your eyes, and I could have invested 200 years to appreciate your appearance. I could have invested 30,000 years to appreciate the rest of your body parts, and age at least to every part, and the last age should show your heart, for lady you deserve this estate, nor would I love at lower rate. So here he says that yes, of course I could have done that, because you deserve this, and you deserve more than this. Why? Now he is trying to make his beloved realize her importance to him. He says that yes, lady, you deserve this estate, means you deserve to deserve this estate, means you deserve to be valued like this. You deserve to be respected like this, and I couldn't have loved you less than this degree, nor would I love at lower rate, means I couldn't have loved you, my devotion to you wouldn't have been less than this. Look at the next stanza. But at my back I always hear time's winged chariot hurrying near, and yonder all before us lie deserts of vast eternity. Here our poet is trying to give another reason to his beloved. He says, I cannot wait long, I cannot waste any more time to wait for your acceptance, because I can never get rid of an uncanny presence around me. I can always feel an eerie, or I cannot get rid of a weird presence around me, and it is the presence of death. This is what he means by time's winged chariot. Here time has been personified as a person. Fine, time has been personified as a person having wings on its chariot. Fine, so time, or death, is like a person who is sitting on a chariot with wings both sides. So the fluttering of its wings can be heard by our poet, and it is of course very horrifying to him. Here he wants to say that I can never get rid of the fact that our life is always threatened by time. Death is inevitable to all of us. Time's winged chariot hurries near, and yonder all before us lie deserts of vast eternity. So he says that, and what lies after death is deserts of vast eternity. So the deserts of vast eternity are lying after death. So after death there is nothing interesting. There are deserts. Deserts mean dry lands, barren lands of eternity. Thy beauty shall no more be found, nor in thy marble vault shall sound my echoing song. Then worms shall try that long preserved virginity, and your quaint honor turn to dust, and into ashes all my lust. The grave is a fine and private place, but none, I think, do their embrace. The poet is fancying the scenario after his death. He says, the beauty of his beloved will not be sustained for long. She will not remain beautiful after she is buried in her grave, nor in thy marble wall shall sound my echoing song. Means I wouldn't be able to recite my beautiful poems, my melodious songs to her, so her ears won't be able to receive his songs. Then worm shall try that long preserved virginity. So addressing his beloved, he says that the way you are preserving your virginity, the way you are preserving, your maidenhood, is useless, is fruitless. It doesn't make any sense, because it will meet a horrible end. When you will be worried, your virginity, your long preserved maidenhood will be eaten up, means it will be damaged, it will be destroyed by the worms, by the earthworms, which are found in soil. And your quaint means strange, and your quaint honor turned to dust, means your strange sense of honor, your strange definition of your honor, that you, because you think that yes, you are protecting your honor by rejecting the proposal of the poet. So he says that nothing is going to happen with this sense of your honor. It will also turn to dust, and into the ashes all my lust, and all my desires will also turn into ashes. In next lines, poet says that the grave is a solitary place, it is a private place. Of course, nobody comes and nobody interrupts there. It is a solitary place, you can enjoy being alone there. But he says that you are supposed to be there alone, and nobody can hug you, nobody can embrace you, means nobody can meet you. So he says that we can meet each other now, we can enjoy with each other now. Nothing is going to happen after our death, so we should utilize our life, we should celebrate our life, we should try to be with each other. Now therefore, while the youthful hue sits on thy skin like morning dew, and while thy willing soul transpires at every pore with instant fires, now let us sport us while we may, and now, like amorous birds of prey, rather at once our time devour, than languish in his slow chapped power. Let us roll all our strength and all our sweetness up into the ball, and tear our pleasures with rough strife through the iron gates of life. Thus, though we cannot make our sun stand still, yet we can make him run. In this particular stanza, Andrew Marvell is appreciating his beloved. He is talking about her beauty, he is talking about her youth. He says that her beauty, her youthful beauty is like the beautiful dewdrops. Fine. The youthful hue means colors, sit on thy skin like morning dew. So he says that the color of youth is set, it is sitting on the skin of his beloved like beautiful dewdrops sit on grass in the morning. So here he says that she is young, she is beautiful, and she is passionate also. Every pore with instant fires refer to desires or wishes, passions. So here he says that you are young enough, you are beautiful enough, and you are passionate enough. So let us utilize all these things to complete the celebration of our life. And he is insisting on acting like the careless birds of prey, amorous birds who are careless about their future, who are careless about their past. They celebrate their present, they celebrate the momentary pleasure in their life. Amorous birds of preying birds, birds of prey, praying birds, rather at once our time devote than languish in his slow, chapped power. Let us roll all our strength and all our sweetness up into a ball. He says that we must gather all our strength. Fine, we must gather all our strength, we must gather all our passions and power to condense them into a particular point, or into a particular ball, to deal with the rough strife of our life. Rough strife refers to the difficult moments of life. Fine. So life is not easy for anyone. Everybody has his own story. Life is difficult to everyone. So he says that we must gather our strength, we must gather our power to face the difficult phases of our lives. And what if we cannot make our sun stand still? So students, sun refers to happy time. How? Because the summer season, sun is associated with the summer season, and winter is associated with death and decay. So these are the usual connotation of different seasons in literature. So of course, in the winter season, the sky is always overcast, sun is not visible, and in the summer season, the sky is clear and sun is clearly visible. So sun or the summer season is always associated with happy time or pleasant phase of life. So here it says that we cannot stop our sun, nobody can stop sun. So here he means that we cannot stop our happy time, we cannot seize phase of our lives. So students, I hope this lecture will be helpful to you. I'll meet you very soon with a different topic. Till then, take care and have a great day ahead. Thank you.